Hello, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Anarchy Among Friends Roundtable discussion. Before we get started, let me remind you that we are covered by the BIPCOT No Government License, which allows for the reuse and distribution of this podcast by anyone and everyone except for governments and the bludgies thereof. We are also protected by Brandenburg v. Ohio, 1969, which ruled that the government cannot punish inflammatory speech unless that speech is, quote, directed to, inciting, or producing imminent lawless action and is likely to incite or produce such action. So everything we say here is hypothetical. This is episode 88, which
Is it really?
which I tentatively have already named, but we're not going to go. I don't know if we're going to go with that one, but quick good news.
We can always come up with the best episode titles during the actual podcast.
Yeah, we tend to come up with some good ones.
Tentatively, I called it medical masturbation.
Nice.
Because that is an article.
Come up with a better one, then.
That is an article we're going to talk about later, but
That's a pretty good name for it, given the current times.
I mean, what else you gonna do in quarantine? Like,
yeah.
I mean, but I checked our just for shits and giggles. I checked our analytics earlier, and we are averaging 69 listens per episode.
Wow, nice. That's really appropriate for us, isn't it?
We are not dirty-minded juveniles in any way.
Oh yeah, I checked. I took a glance at our analytics for the page the other day, and I was like, "Holy shit, we're really at that many Like our reach is getting impressive. Like, it's looking really good."
And it only took us 3 years of doing this every other Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look at that.
It's like when you post consistently, people come to your page and people listen to you.
No,
but we don't do that consistently.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's also,
that sounds like witchcraft to me.
Not to brag, but I'm kind of a big deal. No, my Inked Anarchist Hootenanny Roundup is pushing 400 likes in less than 35 days.
Nice.
So I'm super excited. That is working out really well, and my memes are steadily getting better.
That's because you steal every good meme out there. I don't post it.
Are you kidding me? I have tons of OC. 90% of my posts are OC, man. 90%.
You know what? All this hard work and still none of any of our content is gonna be that fucking picture that I stole from you in Telegram, Andrew.
I know.
That has over 15,000 fucking shares from my profile right now.
Dude, what the hell? One damn hand sanitizer dispenser in a shitty fucking bathroom at a gas station manages to get more shit.
I know. And all because the wording was rubbed off in strategic places to make it say something funny.
Well, because it was referencing our podcast that we did with all the positive stories where we were talking about the hand sanitizer wrestling. I was like, see, exactly this. This is what I'm talking about. Until cry.
Yep, until cry. Yeah.
Oh, I'm bummed they closed down, but
yeah.
Well, we'll get to that. That is also very heartbreaking.
Well, I mean, since we're on that episode, I mean, we might as well bring up the other one about fucking Uber Eats, man. Uber Eats forced Lucky Devil's Lodge stripper food service to change its name.
Because they just can't stand to see people having fun.
Yep.
Dude, Uber Eats sucks so hard too, like versus fucking Eat Street in particular. Like Eat Street's awesome. I have never had a good experience with Uber Eats ever. Literally.
And Uber Eats, I think they treat their fucking drivers like shit.
It's literally the equivalent of like Uber or Lyft. They treat their workers like shit. But Uber Eats also doesn't have strippers delivering food. Therefore, it is subpar.
Yes, exactly.
The dancers at Lucky Devil Lounge are still delivering chicken strips and burgers and pasties and short shorts, but they no longer do it using the name Boober Eats. Uber Eats slapped the business on the east side of Ross Island Bridge with a cease and desist order last week. Owner Sean Bolden, who said he'd like to keep the clever name, but it's just not worth the legal battle. Quote, we're doing this for our employees and we're doing it for minimum wage. We're not making a lot of money. I'm pretty sure Uber is a billion-dollar corporation, and we're Lucky Devil Lounge. As much as I would love to fight this, I need to roll up my sleeves and take my slap on the wrist.
Oh, come on, man. Don't be a pansy about this, right? You could crowdsource a legal defense fund and point out that it's neither pronounced nor spelled the same way, and that there is no possible way anyone of any reasonable intelligence whatsoever could actually confuse the two, and therefore go fuck yourself, Uber.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. The strippers at the club began bringing meals to area homes in mid-March after Governor Kate Brown Kate Brown's order adjusting the pandemic by closing restaurants and bars across the strait forced Lucky Devil to temporarily shut down. The pop-up business has allowed its dancers to keep working and accepting tips from customers who could take photos from a safe distance, as well as the bouncers who drive and provide security for each stop. Uber Eats has gone on to receive coverage from Rolling Stone, HuffPost, and the New York Post. Bolden says the cease and desist notice stated that the use of Uber Eats was a trademark infringement since the name rhymed with Uber's delivery service and used the same font.
Oh, we got it rhymed.
Well, change the font.
Yeah, what the fuck? Jesus fucking. I hate IP so fucking much.
He had already spent $1,800 on T-shirts bearing the brand.
See, he needs to just accidentally lose those and let them go up for sale on eBay.
You can sell them as vintage. If they're sold as vintage, I think it should be legal because there's only 1,800 of them. It's a limited run, right? And it's not called that anymore. So you can call them vintage.
Sell them as a parody is what you do, because U.S. parody around copyright laws, if it's a parody, you're allowed to do those things. So it has to be billed as a parody.
Yeah. Bolden has scrubbed Uber Eats from all its social media platforms and website and swapped it with, quote, Lucky Devil Eats, at least for now. Quote, we're working on retaining a similar name, he explains. My friends are chiming in now online. A buddy has said steak and legs, peels and wheels, pole mates, porn grub.
Porn grub.
You know Pornhub would bother to assume over that. They'd be like, that's fucking great. Why didn't we think of that?
Porn grub is fucking awesome.
Pornhub might actually help promote it.
Yeah, they might actually partner with them over that. That might actually be a thing that happens. Because they'll be like, dude, that's goddamn
that was fucking
genius.
Brilliant.
Yeah. You, sir, deserve a helping fucking hand.
Yep.
That is amazing.
More than we usually give you. Above and beyond the usual helping hand you get from us.
Yeah, it's pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, if you know what I mean.
Pole mates, the Postmates people might bitch and moan.
Yeah.
Right? Pole mates is cool, but porn grub
takes the cake. I'm kind of disappointed with him for not calling it that first.
Well, I don't know. Uber Eats is really good.
Yeah, that is very good. At this point, I would be bitter enough about it that I'd just be like, oh, I'm gonna name it really elaborately and long, and I'm gonna make it the uninterestingly named food delivery service featuring naked women because Uber Eats sucks dirty fucking cock. And then at that point, I have a feeling that if they want to bring a lawsuit, I'm going to be like, I'm sorry, what did I call my service? Every single chance I get in public to the media and to their lawyers.
And they use PBR coolers.
See, I'm the type, I would rename it something like Uber Teats and make them come after me again.
Just keep changing the name so it rhymes.
Keep altering it slightly so that they just keep spending money on their lawyers.
Boober Feast.
Yeah. Uber Teats gets the same concept across. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that'd be good. All right. I think we're all
just keep modifying it, and wind up. Yeah. They rack up $300 million in legal bills because you just keep tweaking it every.
That's the idea.
Endlessly. No. We changed the name.
That's the exact idea.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's just stay in the PNW. Seattle police chief tells people to call 911 if they hear racist name calling.
What?
All right.
How is that an emergency?
Especially right now.
Seattle right now, they don't have the resources to respond to assaults and burglaries.
Yeah.
But they want them to call the emergency line because their feelings were hurt.
Yeah.
If
they heard something that they thought was racist.
Not even if it's directed at them. If they hear racist name calling.
If you do that, I personally feel that any beating that you ever take in your entire life, you deserve.
Yes.
Is this about the rising racism against Asians because of the coronavirus? Is that what this is motivated by?
I have no idea. In response to that, if I was living up there, I would just relabel all Asians as Corona Americans, and everyone can just suck my fucking dick. Are you kidding me? Like, really? You want me to call 911?
Save that line for later. Because we have an article later from Trump's Surgeon General who called coronavirus this quote pandemic. He called it R Pearl Harbor and R 9/11.
Oh my god!
What happened after Pearl Harbor?
We dropped the nuclear bomb.
Yeah,
the internment camps, right? And everybody was racist against Japanese, right? And then after 9/11, it was the Muslims.
Yeah, everyone. Right? Well, they didn't even just attack Muslims; like they attacked like
the
Hindus
Sikhs, man.
And Sikhs. Yeah, like not even the right people from the right area of the planet. You bunch of stupid fucking rednecks.
I still use the term 7/11, not 9/11.
Right.
Yeah, that's important to remember.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you see somebody wearing like fabric on their head. You know, ask them 7/11 or 9/11. They'll love it.
Yeah, they'll appreciate it. You'll get a hearty chuckle, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I deserve to get that. I deserve to pay much. All right. Seattle's top cop may want to get her priorities straightened out. In the midst of the global COVID-19 pandemic, Police Chief Carmen Best used her most recent Chief's Brief update on the coronavirus crisis to urge residents to dial 911 if they are the victims of racist name calling.
Oh my God!
It's a time-wasting imperative, and that's at odds with the First Amendment. In her briefing, Best called upon the expertise of a former local news anchor. Quote, hate crimes have no place in our community. We are all trying to deal with COVID-19 public health crisis together. If you are the victim of a hate crime or hate-based harassment, please call 911. Quote, we will document and investigate every reported hate crime. Even racist name calling should be reported to police. If you aren't sure a hate crime occurred, call 911. We are here to help.
We need you to report counter-revolutionary behavior, comrade, to your local commissar.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I mean, first of all,
like Law and Order Thought Crime Division.
Law and Order Minority Report.
For real.
It's just I just want to first of all I want to point out the title former local news reporter. Like, if there was not a single more irrelevant job title ever to refer to someone, like, you're a former local news
reporter. Yeah.
You're actually surprisingly less relevant than you were before.
Yeah. We didn't think it was possible, but good for you.
And yet,
You
miraculously.
Congratulations.
Oh my! Wait, you? Okay, so this is a cop actually telling people to be the barbecue Betties, and what were some of the other nicknames? We got a few others there.
Well, I mean, Karen's is the obvious one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, there was like specific, like there was Barbecue Betty, who was the chick who called about them grilling in San Francisco parks, and there's a few others, right, of these usually white people, and you know that the ones who are going to be calling 911 over racist name calling of Asians is going to be white people, because I no one else is gonna bother to call 911 over that.
Yeah, well, there was that one meme with the nerdy black guy. That's not just white people.
Oh yeah. There was the one dude, where he's just glaring with the phone.
Yeah.
This at the same time, there was another article from a local blog site, minenorthwest.com, that reported that had an interview with somebody, and they called from a radio show about asking the police to intervene in a burglary in progress. The officer replied that they could not respond because, quote, "we have no resources."
So they can't respond to
do their actual
crime,
job, right?
But you're asking people to call them
so they can respond to thought crimes.
Yeah, it's
to free speech.
Alleged. Yeah.
Again, because Law and Order Minority Report.
That's right. It's been a while since we pulled that one out.
Yeah, I know. It's I've been remiss in my Law and Order doink doink duties here.
Doink doink duties.
Doink doink
doink doink.
That might be the show title. Doink doink duties.
Doink doink duties. Yeah.
Well, we are talking about boober heats and those, might enhance doink doink duties. I mean, technically, you could argue that working for Boober Eats is doink doink duties, I suppose.
Isn't doink doink duties R. Kelly's favorite pastime?
I'm gonna kiss on you.
Let me get some poo poo. I remember that skit. Fucking Dave Chappelle.
Chappelle ain't right, man. Chappelle ain't right.
God, I'm so glad I'm the normal one on this podcast.
It's been a while since we got Derek at his snort, too. That's 10 or 15 freaking episodes.
It's only happening now because I got the Rona. I got the respiratory crud.
Corona.
What's to say? It's cannabis, not Corona.
Right.
But since I mentioned it, U.S. Surgeon General, this week will be, quote, our Pearl Harbor moment, our 9/11 moment, because of coronavirus pandemic.
They said the same shit last week and the week before.
So this is a new article. It's only like an hour old. So, Americans brace for what the nation's top doctor warned Sunday would be, quote, the hardest and saddest week of their lives. Okay,
dude. Every time I think it's the saddest week of my life, government comes up with a new way to make me wrong.
That line has to be right up there with this is the most important election of our lifetime.
Yeah.
This is our Pearl Harbor moment. Like, I'm sorry because some people have a really bad cough. What?
Yeah.
There are a lot of people sniffly. God damn it.
I'm sorry. We're gonna need either Theoden or Aragorn to make a stirring speech at this point. I
was hoping for Stonewall Jackson, like, a bunch of nurses. In the hearts of your general, you are the 1st Brigade.
Yeah,
but it is not this day.
It still only counts as one. All right,
Everybody's
the
wearing
U.S.
masks and just with the Lysol. No, sir, the flu virus couldn't live on that field.
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
There's just all this cooked bat lined up.
Oh.
Yeah, the U.S. is still waiting to peak. Surgeon General Jerome Adams offered a stark warning about expected wave of virus deaths. Quote, "This is going to be our Pearl Harbor moment, our 9/11 moment," he told Fox News Sunday.
Boy, it's enough to stir
Really?
the heart of any patriotic American, isn't it?
Any red-blooded American's gonna be like, I'm gonna fight this virus with my 12 gauge.
I have a freedom boner right now.
Yeah, I have the weirdest fucking boner right now.
Yeah, Johnson, meanwhile, has this, and he said this while hospitalized, though his office said it was not an emergency and that the 55-year-old conservative will undergo tests.
Well, of course it wasn't an emergency. It was a psychological hospitalization.
That's where they all belong.
It was 5150. Let's be honest.
That's not a hospital. That's a bunker.
Oh.
But yeah, it's this is our 9/11 moment, our Pearl Harbor moment, our 9/11 moment. Like comparing coronavirus to those, as I'm not going to put my tinfoil hat on, but these are entirely different situations. Number one.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you can't bomb a virus.
Yeah,
right.
Well, and I mean, keep in mind here. So, one of the things, and I'm surprised that I haven't heard it get brought up more often, is the R naught. Right? It's pronounced R naught. It's written R0. Yep. It's called R naught because the British came up with it, and they're fucking weird. So, the R naught of a disease is basically a comparison of the infection rate with the death rate. Right? And the higher the number, basically, the worse the disease is. The coronavirus comes in at like an R naught of like 2.5, which, yeah, is bad. I mean, that's not good. But flu runs like a 3.
Yeah.
So this is our Pearl Harbor moment. We're competing with a disease with a lower death and infection rate than the common flu.
And let's talk about the most dangerous disease that kills the most people on this planet. And that is fucking statism. And there's no vaccine for that.
Yeah, that fucking... there's a vaccine. It's called critical thinking.
Yep.
That's
Buy my book.
Vaccine.
Thank you, Andrew. Buy my book.
Buy Erica's book.
That's right.
Okay, the R naught for measles is 12 to 18.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. And is anybody freaking out about measles every year? No, they're not. They're not freaking out about it. There are plenty of R naughts way higher in a lot of diseases than coronavirus that we deal with literally every single day in the world, all the time, and in the United States. I mean, what's the R naught for like West Nile? It's got to be fairly high, and or encephalitis, and like the city I live in. Yeah, the city, encephalitis, the city I live in, La Crosse, Wisconsin, has its own strain of encephalitis named after it.
Nice.
Because we are surrounded by so much marsh, we have so many mosquitoes that like we actually produce so many encephalitis cases of a unique brand of encephalitis.
Following the SARS pandemic 2003, scientists estimated the R naught to be around 2.75.
Huh.
I mean, which again is it's not insignificant, but SARS-CoV-2,
which is COVID, which is the heavier hitting version of COVID-19, it's 1.5 to 3.5, depending on where you are.
Ooh. So like that's less than the common cold, I think, actually.
The flu is a 3, 2 to 3, depending on the area. So it literally could be less than the common cold.
You know, I'm a diabetic and a smoker, which is shitty. I've been trying to quit smoking for so long now, but I'm still not fucking scared of this.
Oh, are you kidding me? Where I work, so we had to put up cough shields, right? Like we got an order to put up cough shields in our stores.
They put them up in my grocery store.
Yeah, well, most people did, which really ticked me off because I needed more plexi than I had on hand to do that, and everyone sold out of like the good size sheets. Like either I have to go stupid thick and expensive, or I have to just get really tiny. But I did have a couple of sheets from the front of like posters, right? Old posters. They have that thin plexi, and I used like a couple like 3/8 inch like square dowels and just like basically sanded the plexi and then super glued it together and taped it up with like packing tape to my counter. There we go, abracadabra. I got this sheet. And I still had inexplicably all these customers, and it was usually my old customers. Like they're already old, they're already at risk. Half of them have COPD because they've been smoking 3 packs a day for the past 30 years. And they're leaning around it so that they can talk to me directly. If they're that unworried, and stupid, but if they're that unworried about this disease, why are you, a healthy young individual, freaking the hell out about this disease? They don't give a shit, man.
Okay, I got a story. Okay,
maybe they're ready to die.
Yeah, we don't have. Like our stores still don't have the cough shields and sneeze shields and sneeze guards or whatever, right? But
because they're not environmentally friendly.
So I live right. You guys know I'm like 30 or 45 miles from San Francisco.
Right.
So, but as San Francisco goes, so the Bay Area goes. The 6 Bay Area counties are their own little faux state. But my city, a couple years ago, they banned single-use plastic bags. Right. So everybody, if you go shop in my city, you have to use those recyclable cloth bags. Right. San Francisco did the same thing in 2007. Right. So over a decade ago, San Francisco recently banned the use of reusable plastic bags.
Reusable grocery bags.
No, reusable. They banned the use of the reusable grocery bags.
Yeah,
reusable cloth totes or the canvas totes, because they might be used to spread COVID-19. So so my area kind of adopted the policy. So I went to the store last week, and bare hands, no gloves, no mask. So I walk in, I grab
just raw dog in life.
Just touch everything. Everybody touch the same thing.
So I automatic door. I walk in, I grab a cart, right? Bare hands on the cart. I walk around, I pick up a few items, I throw them in the cart. Hold the doors on the freezers, get some things out, put them in the cart. So I go up to the counter and I have to
scratch my eye,
suck
my thumb.
I have to touch every single item. Put it up on the counter. So the cashier has to touch every single item that I just touched, that was touching my cart, that I touched bare hand. And then she touches my hand when accepting my money, and then touching money. You know how dirty money is.
Money's
and then
fucking filthy.
Touched all the register, and then touched my hand again, giving my change. And then I pull out my reusable bag, and she's like, "Oh no, we can't. I can't touch that."
Jeez.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that I've noticed. Like, we also were supposed to be using rubber gloves, and I was like, but I'm touching all of the same things. So there's literally, like, whether I have a rubber glove in my hand or don't, there's absolutely no difference. You see,
it's a fucking glove. It's not a force field. It doesn't repel everything that touches it.
Yeah, and I'm like, but see, I'm not going to smear hand sanitizer on rubber gloves, but I'll smear it on my own hands. So at least in between customers, I can sanitize my hands and mitigate some risk there. So why would I use rubber gloves? This doesn't make any sense. And it's the same thing. I mean, it's because it's all about this security theater. There's no actual worry about. It's not about actually protecting anybody.
It's about keeping people from fucking rioting.
Right. It's about making people
that there's something they can fucking do.
It's like, you know what it is? It is effectively snake oil. It's snake oil, right? It isn't actually going to protect anybody, but they are going to feel like they're magically protected. It's the placebo effect. But it's the placebo effect through this big elaborate thing, and we're seeing that over and over and over again with all this shit. With government especially, where they're like, oh, do this. Like wasn't it Trump who said, like, hey, everybody should wear fabric masks?
Mm-hmm.
Like, wasn't it like or somebody in the federal government who said everybody should wear fabric masks, which are literally useless.
That's what Trump just recommended the other day in an interview or a speech or something. He said, hey, I the CDC recommends wearing masks, and then he goes, but I'm not going to wear one.
It's and the masks are useless unless you're wearing an N95. And I have a couple, but I'm not about to throw those on every time I go out in public, because the bottom line is influenza is more dangerous and far more common. I've already had influenza A this year, and guess what? I recovered. So I'm not super concerned. Like, I'm going to move on with my day, man. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, what you said, the security theater. Like, that's what I see happening. It's the same thing with gun control, right? Mm-hmm. Something happens, right? Oh my God, there's a new bug, right? Oh my God, there's a new shooting. We have to do something. So they do something, and it doesn't get the result that they want. So they have to do something. So they have to do something more, and then they have to do something more, and then they have to do something more, and then they see other places doing things, and they're like, "Oh, that's a good idea. We should do that." And then it becomes a mob mentality.
Where none of it actually makes a difference.
None of it will realistically make a difference. Like, none of it will stop people from hurting each other, and none of it will stop people from getting sick.
Literally, all it does is give people warm fuzzies about their fucking politicians.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it's like with the fabric masks, right? They stop nothing. They don't stop outgoing. No, they don't stop incoming. They stop literally nothing. You might as well pull your t-shirt up over your face and walk around that way, because that is how effective they are. Absolutely none.
But blue shop towels.
Yeah, but blue shop towels.
Yeah,
they
work better than
They're actually remarkably effective.
We have a roll of them in Micah's truck.
Yeah, and they're widely plentiful, unlike things like paper towel and N95 masks right now. So, you know what? Go out, buy blue. If you're really that worried, wrap your head in blue shop towels and walk around like that, looking like some sort of mentally challenged bandit. All right, that's just go do that. It's still more effective. But the thing is wearing the fabric mask makes you feel better.
Yep.
Even though it doesn't mitigate your actual risk.
Yeah, and
but
it's funny
some
because
people actually need that to not end up sick, because there are people who can fucking psych themselves into it by freaking out. So some people, maybe some people need that little fucking useless token. It's like a fucking, like the little charms and talismans people used to have against the fucking evil eye.
You know what? And if you're that mentally ill, that if you don't feel like you're doing something to prevent your health, you convince yourself that you're sick and develop symptoms, you should seek treatment. Maybe smoke some pot. All right, just something to relax, man. Chill out a little.
Some fucking shrooms.
Riverside, Riverside
it's cool, man.
County,
have you ever tried DMT?
Riverside County here in California today, they issued a have to wear a mask out in public policy, right? But hold on, the face coverings can be bandanas, scarves, neck gaiters, or other clothing that does not have visible holes.
Which is literally useless.
With absolutely, like, you could put a shirt over your face. If you can breathe through it, things can pass through it.
Yeah.
Just saying, you guys.
It's I mean, there is a way.
That's literally a panacea. It's an appeasement.
I mean, you could if you soaked. So if the fabric of the fabric mask was permeated with some sort of oil, like you smeared a bunch of olive oil on it before you went out, right? It
Andrew,
would
shut
actually
up. You're
mitigate.
gonna start another fucking Corona fad. Just be quiet.
No. I want this one to happen though, because the best part is if you inhale a bunch of oil, you give yourself lipid pneumonia, and then you die. So my goal here is my goal here is Darwinism. So if it's soaked in oil, it will actually filter out.
Did you just create cronitarianism?
Yeah.
I might have.
Well,
sweet.
We knew it was going to be you sooner or later, Andrew.
Yeah, that was going to happen eventually. I'm on so many fucking watch lists already. You know what? Bring it, motherfuckers. Yep. But
hashtag Andrewisms.
Yeah, I already literally run a page about the Boogaloo. I don't think there's much more I can do to make myself a target here. Let's talk about the fact that I want to convince all of these panickers to kill themselves. So... No, but if it's soaked with oil, if it's soaked with certain types of oil, it will actually connect with and attract the phlegm droplets that you're worried about, right? That they carry coronavirus.
Now, if you'd like to achieve the same effect without getting fucking lipid pneumonia, you can use beeswax and coat the fabric in wax. Okay, seriously, wax paper over your face would be a much better alternative.
But you can't breathe through wax
fucking
paper.
Bandana.
Hashtag party pooper.
Andrew, did you not want them to fucking...
I mean, no, I'm just saying, like, no. You can't breathe through wax paper. You didn't let me finish my sentence.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So make sure there's also saran wrap on the outside, and be sure that it's not just your mouth, also your nose. Both of them need to be covered.
Put a plastic bag over your head.
Tight. And just with a zip tie, tourniquet the neck, man. Tourniquet the neck. This is
all right.
Okay, but I've seen pictures of people doing that in stores. I mean, not like cranked down on their neck. They're still
not cranked down. Like there's one out of like, I want to say it was the Phoenix area. It might have been the Phoenix area, but it was like, you know those really really huge plastic bags, like the MedFly bags.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the big 100-gallon plastic bags, and it literally looked like a person was wearing that over their head. They had it over their head, but they had a hole cut in the top, and there was like an 18-inch plastic pipe sticking out the top with like a bunch of duct tape around it. So it was like a giant snorkel.
So
how is that gonna do anything?
So it's
that's
like
a lot of effort to go to just look like a fucking impotent idiot.
Yeah, so this is the redneck bodgers mentally challenged equivalent of a hazmat suit.
You see it now?
Yeah. You need
it's
to pull
not
it back.
focusing.
Yeah, because you got your background blurred, so it doesn't want to focus.
Oh, damn it.
But
let's see.
Now, I did see a picture of one person who is doing it smart, even if they're being weird.
There we go. Oh my! It's a plastic Charlie Brown costume with a stick coming out the end of it.
It's like a PVC pipe coming out the top, and there's a bunch of tape.
Oh my god. That's fucking awesome.
They look like a human Capri Sun.
Yeah. Human
all right.
box.
It's like a plague of corn or something.
Plague of corn.
I'll put that checked out, bro.
I'll post that picture on the Anarchy Monk Friends Facebook page. If you
have to put a caption on it, like, rarely seen in the wild, or spotted in its natural habitat. The rare plague of corn.
Like a corn.
Does it not look like a human Capri Sun? Like that is a walking, talking.
It's so bad. Like, okay.
But I saw a picture of somebody out in like full scuba gear. They went grocery shopping.
I've seen that too. Like, and they were like, they had the scuba mask on with the snorkel, and they had the snorkel in their mouth.
They do understand that doesn't filter anything.
I mean, right? Somebody with the respirator and the oxygen tank, like scuba, not snorkel gear, scuba gear.
Oh my God!
Really? Which is actually going to be effective.
That'll be effective, but that's kind of heavy and elaborate. And
God, I hope grocery shopping like that.
I hope they were wearing the fins too.
No. I looked because that would have. Oh. I mean, it would have been a great joke if they were wearing the fins, but
just walking around, people are just watching flop, 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 flop.
Uber Eats is making a special delivery.
What in the world is?
All right, $1,000 fine to residents caught without a mask in Laredo, Texas.
Jesus.
As we just said, the masks that are literally fucking useless.
You can find this fucking dick because you don't have the authority to do any of this to begin with.
Hold on. Oh, this is the best part. Okay. They keep saying residents. So if you're not a resident of Laredo, Texas, do you not have to wear a mask? All right. But it says a city is taking drastic measures to stop the spread of COVID-19. Laredo will be requiring every resident older than 5 years old to wear some sort of mask when going out in public. That includes going to the store or even pumping gas.
Hockey mask. Jason. Yeah, buddy.
This mask, man. It doesn't specify. Did not specify.
It says Surgeon General asymmetric spread, blah, blah, blah. Okay. If people are caught not covering their nose and mouth, they face a misdemeanor punishable by a fine up to $1,000.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, I mean, come on. Really? Like, $1,000 fine?
And where do they get the authority to do that?
And this is in a time when masks are hard to find.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, as it is, they're difficult to find. And now you're going to say, well, if you want to even go out at all, you have to have one of these either nigh impossible to locate if you didn't already have one masks, or one that is completely physically useless.
Yep.
And this is a border town.
But
also.
Do something, goddammit. Do something. Do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I fucking hate that. I hate when politicians, especially, they love to go, well, we have to do something because doing something is better than doing nothing. To which my response is, literally never in the history of planet Earth has been doing just something ever been better than doing nothing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if everybody had just done nothing when there was some problem in front of them, somebody pissed them off, some country was, another tribe was trying to take their land or whatever. Just if people would fucking do nothing about all these little aggravations, the world would be a fucking better place. It would.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be any fucking war.
Yeah,
especially
it would have been a far
war.
more relaxed place anyway.
Modern war is always just a violent representation of do something. We have to do something.
Yeah. There has been a recommendation that people should do.
What's that?
Well, let's see, what is she? She is a what is she? She is a specialist in hormone therapy.
Yeah. And now I have that song on loop in my head. I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I touch myself. I think I know where this is going.
So yeah, Dr. Jennifer Landum. Yes. The title of the article says, "We should all masturbate during coronavirus lockdown to boost our immune system and fight off infections."
That's by the Divinals, by the way, in case anyone. That song.
So, if you've been ordered to stay indoors and self-isolate among the coronavirus outbreak, you could get pretty bored and lonely not being able to socialize. I mean, there's only so much Netflix you can watch.
I beg to differ.
So while you make one last dash to the supermarket to stock up on your supply of toilet paper and canned goods, perhaps adding some batteries to your shop, because as it turns out, masturbating will not only give you something to do, but it will keep you healthy. And who are we to go against the doctor's orders?
Preppers do it without power tools. Learn how to touch yourself.
Yeah. No. Yes. But while many people look past the health benefits of indulging in a little self-love, Dr. Jennifer Landum, a specialist in hormone therapy, suggests that masturbation might be exactly what you need to strengthen your body's natural defense forces.
How is that different than always?
Yeah, That's all I can picture is that meme with what's her face from Futurama and Zoidberg, where she's like, "Look at us," and it's like just masturbating just all the time now. Yes, now.
Yeah. Or, well, now that you told me to, I don't want to. I was going to anyway.
Well, now I'm not going to.
Self-pleasuring is known to boost your immune system and raise your white blood cell count, which in turn help to fight off infection in the body. Now, this might not be the first time you've heard that alone time with your favorite toy will help you with more than just relieving stress after tough
No, it's not the first time I've heard that.
And that's
not even close.
And that's because it's backed by science. Dr. Landon's views are also reflected in a small study. Science, bitches. There you go. All right. Dr. Landum's views are also reflected in a small study conducted by the Department of Medical Psychology at the University's Clinic in Essen in Germany, which closely looked at the effects orgasms through masturbation on white blood cell count.
We need the doink doink, Andrew. You need to do your doink doink duty.
We're talking about masturbation now. You're telling me to do my doink doink duty.
That's right.
That's what just occurred. No, I was going to. It's done.
Hold on. Okay.
Oh no, yes, I remember.
Hold on.
Uber Eats is true humanitarians because what they're doing.
They're boosting your immune system.
They're getting you to boost your immune system.
They're encouraging you to boost your immune system.
That's right.
Yeah. And yes, while we agree that a team of doctors watching a group of people engage in self-pleasure is rather strange, the results were clear, and it confirmed that.
Speak for yourself, shit.
Yeah, they're all sitting around. It's a bunch of dudes watching like four chicks, and somebody walks in. What are you guys doing? Nothing.
Research, scientific research.
Dude, this is for science, all right?
Yeah.
Derica's making straight eye contact with the two-way window or the two-way.
Yeah, like no, this is completely for science.
She winks and then finishes.
Right. Don't think I fucking won't. If you want to make this awkward, we're gonna make it fucking awkward, okay?
She got the list of the names of the doctors participating just so that she can make sure she says them.
Yeah.
And
but like, what kind of person says that watching other people masturbate is kind of strange?
I'm just
fucking speak for yourself, dude. It's not strange for me.
Just reading the article. Yeah. So. Self-pleasure rather strange. The results were clear that it was confirmed that sexual arousal and orgasm increased the number of white blood cells and boosted the immune system. So thank you, volunteers.
Thank you, volunteers.
More than that, though, orgasms in general help you relax and sleep better too. And more sleep means more time for your body to repair itself.
Wank for the cure, America.
See, it's for science.
Yes.
It's your civic fucking duty. Wait for the cure.
I need one of those T-shirts now. Wank for the cure.
Yes.
Why does Pornhub not make one yet? That is a missed marketing opportunity. Pornhub.
Yes,
Wank for the cure.
Wank for the cure.
Fapping for a healthier tomorrow.
That should be the title. Wank for the cure. That's the episode title.
I got Chuck Berry's My Dingling playing in my head right now. Sure was hard coming across that creek. Both hands
stroking
your dingling.
That's what I'll be doing. I'm stroking.
Okay. Besides the NHS even says that sexual arousal sends the heart rate higher and the number of beats per minute reaches its peak during orgasm. So if you're feeling a little under the weather or simply want your hold on. So if you're
that
feeling
didn't hit me until Andrew said it.
So if you're feeling a little under the weather or simply want your immune system firing the way it should,
increase your beats per minute.
Hold on, let me finish this last paragraph and then you can laugh. All right, so if you're feeling a little under the weather, or simply want your immune system firing the way it should, simply whip out your Playmate and enjoy your time indoors.
And yeet your meat to the beat, my friends.
But remember, if you are engaging in sex with a partner during coronavirus outbreak, be sure to slap on a condom, because according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the main method of transmission of the coronavirus is person-to-person contact, and we all know what that means. As we covered in the last episode, no rim jobs.
Nice. Beat it! Beat it! No one wants to beat it.
Most
it's a medical song.
podcast ever.
Increase your beats per minute.
See? Michael Jackson was giving you health advice you didn't even know.
This is now a 3-snort episode. 3 on the Derica counter. Yes. So if you're simply
with if we bothered with post production, we would have a little Derica snort counter in the bottom right hand corner here.
Yeah.
And rate them, they'd all get a 6.9.
Laughter's good for your immune system too.
Yeah. So
if you laugh a bunch and whack it. That's
so if you're feeling
and
a
if
little
you can do
under
both
the weather,
at the same time, you probably need help, but your immune system will be fine.
You may in fact fetish.
As we've previously established, sex is a food.
It is a food group. Sex is definitely a food group.
I mean, certain parts of sex might be a food group, but
hey, it's a food group every time I do it. I don't know what you're doing, but
obviously far less.
So if you want to boost, if you want your immune system firing the way it should, simply whip out your Playmate and enjoy your time indoors.
Whip out your Playmate and enjoy your time indoors. Again, something that Pornhub should have thrown on a T-shirt by now that they have still fit. Does Pornhub even make a T-shirt? Because I know a lot of Pornhub parody T-shirts, but I don't think I've ever seen one from them.
Probably
which I find it to be a little disappointing, personally. I think that they should that's maybe something that they should do.
Well, they should tune into this podcast first for ideas.
Link at the end of this article is another article. Self-isolating with your other half. These are the best sex positions to try.
Are they like just literally variations on doggy style so that you?
I'm sure they are. Yeah.
And
just like episode 69.
I think that's still our most popular episode to date, actually.
Oh, why wouldn't it be?
The Corona Cowgirl. And the caption says, "Ladies, get ready to ride out this coronavirus outbreak."
Corona cowgirl.
I'm sorry, I'm immune compromised, so I have arthritis in my knees, and I'm going to need a different option.
That, to be honest, with his leg position, that just looks like Amazon style, but where she's also crouching.
Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't look sustainable.
Or comfortable, particularly.
And
like
you have the time.
What?
Oh,
who has the physical ability? You know what? If you have the physical ability to pull that one off,
it's called the sanitizer pump.
The sanitizer.
Okay, but in reality, it's called the Hucklebuck, and it's really fucking fun.
I've dated. I dated a 21-year-old not that long ago.
That's the vaccine position.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's okay. I'm getting tired. I'm going to use my arm for leverage.
The deep clean.
Ugh.
That seems painful.
No, it's not.
It seems painful. Look at that. Look at the way that man is shaped.
And avoid the spread of germs by having the least contact possible.
Of course,
that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. It's doggy style, right? That is the healthiest position. Plain and simple. But no, what I was saying is,
but normies always think it's kinky, and that's just fucking weird to me.
I know they're. I dated a 21-year-old not that long ago who could have pulled off the sanitizer pump right all fucking night. And you start dating a 21-year-old when you hit an age that starts with a 3, and you think, oh no, I can still hang. I can still deal with this. Like, I'm not that much over the. Oh no, you've made a grave error in judgment. You cannot hang with the 21-year-old. You can't. You think
but you can do some version of these with someone your own age. I mean,
for like 6 seconds.
when Kevin was doing his bachelor's, he did a college paper on sex positions. Okay. And we had a fun time with that. The quarantine quickie.
What do you mean quarantine? That takes forever.
Man. It says the quarantine quick, and it says this fast-paced sex position is just what you need before reaching for your work laptop in the morning.
That position is not fast-paced. That position is never fucking fast-paced. There's no leverage to do it fast-paced.
Yeah, if you want that to be fast-paced, what you do is you rotate the male 90 degrees to where they're at.
Yes. Yeah. At that point, her leg up over your hip. Yeah.
Yeah. No. In that position, that takes forever and involves frequent. Oh God, side cramp. I'm sorry, side cramp.
The masked zinger.
Oh my God.
Really, it's doggy style, but he's just wearing a mask.
Yes.
See, normally that's called assault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
normally that'll get you like 25 years in prison.
Yeah.
God, we are terrible people, you guys. I just want you guys to know that.
That's normally an assault, but I can do it again because I'm unidentifiable.
Yeah. Yeah, I know we're terrible people, but birds of a feather. That's why we get along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the bottom line is the takeaway here is that if you're bored and you're in quarantine, watch porn. Get yourself off. Do that. Right.
And do it. Okay, Pornhub is like giving everybody free fucking unlimited access right now because everybody's stuck indoors. Yeah. So seriously.
Because Pornhub
again, once again, Pornhub is doing more to address the real fucking problem than the government is. How many times is this now that Pornhub has outperformed the U.S. government?
Dude, I want to work for that company.
Literally every time.
Yeah, I want to work for that company solely because like they are the soul of capitalism so much. They are so amazing. Like I really do want to work for that company.
Yeah.
All right. How about let's move on to a non-recommended position. Florida politician says coronavirus cured by blowing hairdryer up your nose.
Oh my God. I can't even hold a hairdryer on my fucking scalp for more than 3 seconds.
If you have ever caught dry heat in the face directly from anything, imagine
like your oven when you open it up.
Yeah, imagine that straight up your nose. and what that's going to do.
A local Florida politician has apologized for telling a public meeting that blowing a hairdryer up your nose can cure the coronavirus. Okeechobee County Commissioner Bryant Culpepper.
Of fucking course it's Okeechobee. Of course it's fucking... If you know anything about Florida, Okeechobee
Florida, man.
is a concentration of insane people that boggles the mind even by Florida standards.
Okay. I think Okeechobee is where the supply of Florida men come from.
It is. It's fucking It's like Okeechobee, Fort Myers, like that.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, well, it's the western coast,
right,
of Florida is where they all come from, and Okeechobee's right there. But Okeechobee is unique because it's also like right on the swamp too. So it's like a combination of you got a pretty mouth and Florida. So of course it's Okeechobee.
So
Okeechobee I went to A school in Pensacola for 6 months. I'm familiar with it.
All right, Okeechobee County Commissioner Bryant Culpepper bragged about his background as a paramedic as he hailed a madcap cure to what he saw, quote, was one of the foremost doctors who had studied the coronavirus reveal on cable TV.
Oh my
quote,
God.
This sounds really goofy, and it did to me too, but it works. He told Friday's meeting of the commission.
It works by destroying every living cell that the fucking virus could use to replicate.
Yeah. If you just blow your face off with a shotgun, you can't get coronavirus.
Quote, the answer was you use a blow dryer. You hold a blow dryer to your face and you inhale with your nose, and it kills the viruses in your nose. Sometimes the cures for some of these diseases are very simple.
Not that simple, motherfucker.
I mean, so the virus dies, and I'm sure that the article, the virus dies at 130 degrees Fahrenheit, right? It cannot survive at a temperature above 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. And the average temperature of a hairdryer is a little bit above that. It's like 145, 150, something like that. However, your nose, the human nose, is not designed to inhale air at that kind of a temperature either.
Not unless you spent some time in the Middle East anyways.
Yeah, I mean, even then, that's pushing it, right?
Yeah, so, 130 is like the highest I heard Kevin ever mention when he was in Bahrain.
I think the highest I ever saw was like 132 or something, right around there, in the sun, in like Baghdad or Mosul. It was somewhere around there. I think it was like Baghdad because it was further south. So I think it was like Baghdad. It was like 132 was the highest I ever actually physically saw myself. And that is a level where if you inhale that air, your nose starts bleeding. You look like you've been doing blow every day in like Lindsay Lohan quantities for the past 15 years.
Okay, it says heat guns, like they use for melting plastics and whatnot.
Oh my God.
Yes.
100 to 130 degrees. Hair dryers on the hottest hair dryers on the highest setting reach 140.
Jeez.
So it's literally hot enough to melt plastic.
Yeah, the heat guns. So anyone who doesn't know, so you use the heat guns if you're going to do like vinyl wraps for a car, for instance,
or wiring. We used to use them in the Navy when we were running cable and stuff, and we had to make connections. You have to put the little plastic over it and shrink it with a heat gun.
Yeah, you use that because it increases the temperature enough that it triggers a reaction in the chemical composition of the compound, and then it shrinks down and pulls tight. So that's what you use it for. It also, if you ever buy a heat gun, like let's say you go to Harbor Freight tomorrow and you go to pick one up, you'll notice that the label on it specifically mentions not to point it at yourself literally ever under any circumstances.
Right.
Yep. I saw a great meme about Harbor Freight earlier, and it showed Harbor Freight and it said aisle 9 has done more to eliminate gun control than the NRA ever.
Yes, what's an aisle 9?
Correct.
Aisle 9's where the drill presses and power tools are.
Oh, yeah.
Also, fun fact, speaking of Harbor Freight, up until recently, they were one of the last few places that was still carrying a significant amount of nitrile gloves. That you could wear if you wanted them. And they still had a decent amount. I mean, not a lot, not a great variety of sizes anymore because they limited everybody to 2 per person. But they still had some. And then the company decided that they were going to donate all of their nitrile gloves and N95 masks to medical facilities, because the medical facilities were having such trouble getting their hands on them. Harbor Freight has single-handedly done more to combat the coronavirus than the United States government could ever hope to do. And the best they have ever done otherwise is sell really shitty tools to broke-ass motherfuckers.
Hey, every business has its place in capitalism.
Hashtag 80% lowers. Just leave it at that.
Dude, I love don't get me wrong, I love Harbor Freight because like there are some tools that, hey, you know what? I need it once. I literally need it one time. I don't want to spend a ton of money. I don't need it to last. I don't need it to be durable. I need it to do this one thing for 10 seconds. That's when I go to Harbor Freight. I need that one thing for 10 seconds.
It's still cheaper to buy an 80% lower in a Harbor Freight drill press than it is to go through the government and get a legal AR lower or Glock
and that's
lower.
assuming that you're just making it semi-automatic.
True.
Which is a big assumption.
All right, how about some how about a non-coronavirus related story just for shits and giggles, because
let's do it. I need to hear something other than all this bullshit.
It's ridiculous. Well, it's still bullshit.
Wow.
Sorry. Okay.
I'd like a different flavor of bullshit. If it pleases the crown, could I have a different flavor of crap in my cup for a couple of minutes?
If it will please the crown, might I have a different flavor of diarrhea to drink?
Yeah.
No, all the other articles are COVID related. Okay.
Welcome to the world in which we live.
Well, that's what happens when we do a current event show.
Yeah.
Dude, we always do a current event show. That's
true.
That's what we do.
It's because it's fun. You guys
literally the only episode that I can remember we ever did that wasn't current events was episode 69.
Yeah.
And that turned out to be 3 freaking hours long.
I know.
Why is my phone dying?
Oh. It's got corona. All right.
It's got the COVID.
Yeah.
Spokane County man ordered to cease flying helicopter in neighborhood.
What a bunch of fucking killjoys.
Yeah, Spokane County has ordered a resident of the Painted Hills neighborhood to stop flying his helicopter and shut down his helipad, a decision sought by several of his neighbors. Neighbors say... Yes, Derica?
No, keep going. Keep going.
No, not gonna outrage.
Fucking Karens, not yet. Not yet. I'm building it though.
Okay, neighbors say Jim Carbonua has had an active helipad in his forested Painted Hills neighborhood just south of Spokane Valley for about 2 years. Many have contacted the county and reported the activity, saying a crash or malfunction could put their homes in danger of a fire or worse. They have also complained about the noise. Last week, so this article is like a week and a half or 2 weeks old now, so it'd be like 3 weeks ago. Superior Court judge ordered to cease and desist flight operations at his helipad, which he named Birdhouse. The judge also ordered him to dismantle and deactivate the helipad with the Federal Aviation Administration.
What a bunch of dicks. I mean, seriously, like, you know, my reaction to this whole thing.
Not to worry. I have a permit. It just says I can do what I want.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, Carbonu, who signed and agreed to the injunction, is allowed one last flight from his helipad when he hires a licensed pilot to move his helicopter to another location. While having a helicopter in the backyard or flying in and out of a residential neighborhood is not explicitly referenced in the county's zoning code, it is also not included in the allowed activities for residential neighborhoods.
Oh my God.
Shirley Auble, who lives down the street from the helipad, said she and many others in the neighborhood see the injunction as a win, but only if Carbonu follows it. Quote, I see it as a victory. We all do, but he has to obey the order.
So once again, force people to do something because you feel like their behavior was some kind of a risk to you.
Yeah, this is, I mean, and their argument, you know, from an IT perspective, their argument is, well, it's not on the blacklist, but if we had a whitelist, it wouldn't be on that either.
Yeah.
Well, that's not an argument. But we don't have a whitelist. We have a blacklist, and it's not on it.
And fuck your list anyways. Who the fuck are you to make a list? Yeah.
Yeah. Next door neighbors Dana and Carl Strode said they had previously told Carbonu his flights were clearly illegal. The Strodes, who had been feuding with Carbonu,
their names just sound like they're the type of people who would do some shit like that.
The Strodes, who had been feuding with Carbonu over the helipad and its installation for a few years, said they were relieved the county had ordered the helipad shut down and were hoping it would return, quote, peace and tranquility to the neighborhood.
You know who?
Yeah, well, you know who's not getting a spot in my helicopter during the fucking alien invasion? Dana and Carl.
Yeah, you know who these people remind me of? They remind me of what's her face and her husband, her second husband that she didn't feed to the tigers. King Tiger. Carol fucking Baskin and her second husband. That's who they remind me of.
Carol fucking Baskin.
Yeah, that's who they remind me of.
Yeah.
Tell me, watch that documentary and look at that dude's face, her second husband, and tell me that you don't want to punch him. Yeah, but tell me you don't want to punch him as he speaks.
I can't because I really want to fucking punch him every time he opens his mouth.
It's just it's a knee-jerk reaction. You're like, no, that dude needs a punch in the fucking face. Like,
and Carol has an eminently punchable face too. I want to fucking punch her in the face.
Even Lindsay, who is generally one of the most forgiving, chill people that I know in the world, like who just deals with everybody's bullshit and just doesn't want to make. Even she, as she was watching that, looked at those people and went, "Oh my God, like,
I want to do violence to them."
Yeah, she was like, I think if we lived in the same neighborhood as them, and you were like, "Hey, honey, I'm sorry, I killed the neighbors," I'd be like, "Okay," and I just pretend that I never heard that and move on with my dang up with an alibi. Like,
don't forget to take your sardine oil.
Yeah, she was just like, oh my God, I fucking hate these people. I hate these people the moment they speak. I hate the way they look. I hate the way they act. She's like, Jesus, I fucking despise these people. And she and even she laughed and was like, well, I mean, Joe Exotic is nuts. Like he's fucking nuts. But she's like, but you know what? He's nuts that I can deal with. I can't fucking stand. Like
yeah.
And I think most anarchists feel that way about them too. Like Joe Exotic, you could deal with him. You know, you could negotiate, be like, dude, hey, look, I just need you to do whatever, and like you could work with him. Them, you want to make not breathe anymore.
Hold on.
These people complaining about this helicopter, they are those people. They are that kind of people who are I just think that we just don't need helicopters in our neighborhood because
Strode, the family that he was feeding with, quote, I'm hopeful that this time, under financial threat, penalties, and perhaps jail time, he might realize that his helicopter fantasy has to come to an end.
Who the fuck are you, the fantasy police?
I can't afford a helicopter, and so therefore I don't think anyone needs a helicopter because I'm.
You know what? If you're gonna fucking point fingers at people for their fantasies, let's go through your browser history and find out what your fucking fantasies are. Because those type of people always have some fucked up shit in their browser histories.
You know, one, that this chick is white. 2, that she's upper middle class. 3, that she fantasizes about getting triple gangbanged in the ass by her black fucking gardeners. And this is the thing that she fantasizes about. Don't even pretend that this isn't what's in her fucking brain all the time. She can't even get off with her husband unless she fantasizes about that. We all know it.
Yep.
That is this kind of person right here.
Yeah.
This chick is why dogfart.com exists.
There it is. That's 4. This is now a 4 snort episode.
God damn you, Andrew.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. She is literally their principal audience, and we all know it.
Oh, holy shit. Keep reading the article, Jason.
There was nothing left. That was the end of it.
We all know it. We all know it. All right? That's her right there. That's that kind of person. Like, they want to be in everybody's fucking business, but deep down inside, they want to be destroyed.
They want someone else in their business?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And people who are from a significantly lower socioeconomic rung than they are, and probably of a different race.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like masochism turned sideways or projected outward, but not quite sadism because they don't think they're causing pain. I don't know.
It's, and it's weird, like, because I do remember being a statist, and I remember my thought processes, and some of it was like, well, but if it inconveniences me, like, you view the obligation of the law.
Or I have a right to protect
purpose.
My property value against what my neighbors do on their own property.
Right. You view the law as serving you.
Right.
Like, that's how and that's why breaking statism.
It's your little fucking organ grinder monkey.
Yeah, you view the law, right, as serving.
That's probably in her browser history too, fucking organ grinder monkeys.
It's probably, and it means something completely different to her.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the point I was making.
If you're listening, Pornhub, give us her fucking browser history.
Oh, God.
What's that, Rule 34?
Yeah, exactly. But that's what it is, though, is these are the kinds of people, right? And and if you haven't watched when I appeared on Nick's Enemy of the States Dank Pod Stash, and I talked a lot in detail about my background and where I came from before I came to Anarchy, you may not understand where I'm coming from here. Go listen to that if you haven't yet. But I interacted with a lot of very, very high dollar donors to the Republican Party in the United States, and to the donors, the high dollar donors of the Republican Party to the Republican Party in Wisconsin. If you've never heard of the Koch brothers, I know some people have, some people haven't, but if you've never heard of the Koch brothers, I met both of them in person and talked to them. But one of the things that you notice when you interact with these people who are really high, like they have a lot of money and they're hardcore invested in statism, is that their view is the law should serve me and do what I want and be there for what I want and my preferences and what I want it to do. And that's what they tend to want. And what I've noticed is that these people who live in like gated communities and high dollar value, subdivisions and shit like this, they're like, oh, but the law should do what I want for my preferences.
We have people like that in my fucking neighborhood. There's one particular couple that everybody fucking hates. Because most of the people in my neighborhood are like Gen Xers who bought houses here specifically because there's no fucking HOA. And there's this one couple of boomers left from when the neighborhood was first built that have always wanted it to be a fucking HOA. And they try to convince everybody who moves in here that it's a covenant neighborhood and tell people that it's in their deed, and it's literally in fucking nobody's deed. They're just trying to like speak it into fucking existence, and everybody hates them for it. I really.
And that's the thing, like Lindsay and I've laughed about is like, because I'm heavily, I mean, she's not particularly tattooed, and she could pass very easily for, you know, very nice woman. Whereas I'm heavily tattooed, I have a beard, I literally am physically incapable of hiding my attitude. So like, you can only get shot at so many times in your life before you're like, I don't even fucking care.
Right.
I don't care what anyone say. But like, we've talked about that, like some of the like a few of the places that we'd like to move and things, and like, well, what do we do? Like, you interacted with neighbors. Like, there's no easy way to like sugarcoat my attitude. And she's got severe anxiety to the point of being disabled because of it. Whereas I'm like, dude, I will. Yeah, you really want to go? Like, I will hand you a sword, and I will pick up a sword, and we will settle this like men. Like, that's
as
that's
God
my
intended.
attitude.
Damn it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, all right, fine. Hey, look, I invested in a pair of dueling pistols. Let's fucking do this. Like, that's my attitude versus her. So I'm like, you know, like, I look at that, and like we've looked at a few places to buy, and I'm like, but I feel like everybody around there is going to be like telling you your husband's such an ass, and
So what?
and she's gonna be like, well, I mean, you know, you're gonna have to deal with him.
Yeah, but he's mine.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, I completely understand that, because some of the places we've looked at, like, we've gotten those attitudes, like oh no, you have to obey. Okay, but that's not in my lease, or not in my land contract, or not in my deed or anything, which means that I'm under no legal obligation, which means
but
I'm
the whole
sorry,
neighborhood agreed.
Fuck you.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
The neighborhood
right
agreed 35 years ago. Yeah. The neighborhood agreed 35 years ago. Oh, well, that's interesting for the people who lived here 35 years ago, you old fuck. How about you realize that today is not 35 years ago, before I was fucking born, because I'm 33. So
how about you fuck off?
Fuck off.
My social
and
contract.
Yeah. And my attitude has been like, when I moved in here, right? Our current neighborhood, fucking great. Our next door neighbor, dude, builds hot rods and shit for a living. He's pretty cool. The other dude on the other side, I don't know what he does for a living, but like, he's always got like guns out before he goes to the range for range days and shit. And like, I've been told that he's ex-military and is pretty like, dude, just leave me the fuck alone. I want to shoot a bunch of shit. The guy across the street from me literally has, I shit you not, in his picture window, he has a picture of one of the guys from Trailer Park Boys, the Pope, and It the Clown. Cardboard cutouts of them in his window, and he works as an undertaker.
Nice.
Like, I've never seen him, but I want to get to know this guy because he seems cool.
He seems interesting.
Like, this is the neighborhood I live in, so for the most part, I don't have to deal with a lot of that shit. But like, if I ever moved out of here, I've lived in some of those places where people are like, well, the neighborhood doesn't appreciate. That's cool. The neighborhood can suck my fucking dick. Like, if I want to fly a fucking helicopter, my helicopter
onto your property.
This is no fucking business of yours. This is mine. If you have a problem with that, buy your own helicopter and try and get revenge with the sound of your own helicopter.
And we'll just do aerial battles right over top of the neighborhood.
And I will find, ideally, this is in a free society, and I can buy an H-64, and I will shoot you out of the sky from slightly over the horizon. Go fuck yourself. Oh, Jesus fuck! Like,
I mean, I remember being a statist too, but I don't ever remember ever in my life having the compulsion to like dominate somebody else and bend them to my will. It's not something I've ever fucking experienced. I just don't have it in me.
Were you on the left or the right politically when you were a statist?
I was on the right.
Interesting.
I'm the same.
See, I was hyper on the right, but I was hyper on the right. So
there was a short period of time where I was like pretty hyper right, and I was like saying things like only people with military service should be able to vote and all this other crap. So
yeah.
But even then, I wasn't like I wasn't bitching about the neighborhood. I wasn't trying to tell my neighbors what to do.
Yeah, there was a time I thought that only landowners should vote because they're the ones who,
that makes more sense than what I was thinking.
Oh, I'm not even going to get into some of the. I went very right and simultaneously slightly left. We won't get into it, but let's just say that the German language held an attraction for me for a little bit.
I agree.
All right. So, I mean, I look at the background I come from, right? So we're talking, right. That background. But yeah. So I understand, like, I get how statist these people are, that it's about, no, I want the power. I should have the power. I don't give a shit what anybody else who happens to live here says. I want it, me personally, because I voted and I'm interactive with the government and I'm talking and mine. And that's a dangerous statism, is it convinces you that somehow you deserve the power. You get it. You should have.
You're more important than your neighbors.
Yeah, you matter more than everybody else, and you get more power, and you deserve more everything than them. And you can't tell me this guy was landing a giant like he wasn't landing a Chinook in his backyard.
No, right? It was a small Bell helicopter.
It was one of those little like twin rotor like pod thing. That's all that is.
Like the ones from MASH.
Not even that big. They're even smaller. They're the little tiny like thing. You get rides from those at county fairs,
at air shows and shit like that.
Yeah, they're nothing, right? It's not that loud. It's not that thuddy. It's
it's not a huge helicopter.
It's just a tiny little thing, and you wanted to have, and look at where that's landed too. Like that's a huge area. Like these people are really that upset about that. Like it's not like it's a set of manicured lawns, and their dogs are barking at this helicopter as it lands. All right, like
on the front lawn of the guy's house.
Yeah,
he's got some acreage, right? I mean, it's not like it's a residential.
But because the neighborhood is wooded, they're afraid that he's going to set off a fire and it's going to threaten their homes.
Oh God!
I mean, I live what 2 blocks from a hospital. We hear the med flight helicopter go over all the time. Nobody's yelling and screaming about that.
I do too.
And that's got to be louder than what he was doing and more frequent. So what?
I live in the ghetto. We got the ghetto bird up almost every other night.
Oh yeah.
Spotlight.
Police helicopters.
Yep. And I'm not far from the freeway, so we have them up there also. But just nice. It is what it is. So all right. Paddleboarder arrested at Malibu Pier for flouting state stay-at-home order. A paddleboarder was arrested in Malibu Thursday after ignoring lifeguards' orders to get out of the ocean amid social distancing rules. The lifeguards flagged down deputies for assistance, but the man ultimately chose to stay in the water alongside the Malibu Pier for 30 to 40 minutes, Los Angeles County Sheriff's officials said in a Facebook post. Deputies summoned their patrol boat from Marina del Rey, and the man swam to shore once it arrived. He was subsequently arrested on suspicion of disobeying a lifeguard and violating Governor Gavin Newsom's stay-at-home order, a misdemeanor. He was booked into the sheriff's station in Calabasas before being released with a notice to appear in court. Officials did not release any identifying information. He could face up to $1,000 fine, or he could face $1,000 fine up to 6 months in jail, or both.
And this is over an executive order.
It's not even a fucking law.
Yeah, one man made a declaration, and he is looking at being
outside the bounds of his technical authority. He made an order outside the bounds of what his authority is supposed to encompass.
And they were so worried that they deployed how many people probably manned that boat? Figure 6, 7.
Well, they're making an example of the guy. They had to make a fucking example of it.
Right, but I mean, they're all worried about him. Like, ostensibly, this is about keeping people safe from the coronavirus. And they deployed 6 or 7 people in a concentrated area.
Keep them safe from the coronavirus. The police are not wearing...
2 of them...
The police are not wearing PPE, and they are both well within 6 feet of the guy, walking him down the beach.
Yeah. And what was the guy doing? He was out in the sun and the salt water, both of which are fucking fabulous for keeping you healthy.
Yeah, he was out paddleboarding.
Swimming in the ocean is one of the better things you can do for your health. Until the cops showed up.
And until the cops showed up, how many people were anywhere near him?
None.
He was
0.
He was easily 50, 60 yards off the shore. Granted, he was near the pier, but the pier's like 100 feet off the water.
Yeah.
So he was not within 100 feet of anyone. Easily within 100 feet of anyone.
He was completely isolated on his own and perfectly safe from everyone until...
And everyone was perfectly safe from him.
Yeah, until the cops showed up.
Yep.
And I went to the Facebook post. I love when the police post stories like this, because then you get all your anarchist friends commenting on it. Yeah,
I love that. That's always fun.
They tend to just pull them down.
There's like 15 comments from names I recognize. So
nice.
But I mean, you notice that with the police departments and stuff, and the DEA and the FBI, whenever they post things like this and anarchists start hitting it hard, and then even statists start liking what we're saying,
yes,
you'll notice that their reaction is to just pull the post down.
Yeah,
a lot of the time, yeah.
Suddenly they're like, "Oh God, this has turned into negative publicity."
Right.
Like there was that one
holy
police
shit,
department.
These ideas are spreading. People are starting to like these comments.
Yeah, and they're seeing the ideas because of this. We need to get rid of this. But you remember that there was that one post. I don't even remember how long ago that was.
Oh God. Okay. Also on the Facebook page, painted by the police secretary, a giant Frank Castle Punisher skull.
And we have talked about this before.
You mean the guy who kills cops and whose creator literally released a statement about how cops were fucking monsters if they tried to use it, and who then did a story specifically about him killing cops in response to cops trying to use it? Yeah.
Yes.
They don't know who the fucking Punisher is. They just know he's called the Punisher, and they feel like Punisher is a good description for them to fucking appropriate for themselves.
Because none of them have read comic books, and so they hear, oh, well, he goes guilty punk and then kills somebody, and they don't understand that Frank Castle has a very specific personal code of ethics that he goes by. And then he disregards all laws in favor of his own personal, what he believes to be right and wrong.
Yep. Literally the fucking opposite of cops.
Yeah. And they just don't fucking get it.
Oh, that Facebook page is disgusting. Oh, all right.
Dude, you know, the way that I console myself right now when I see this shit is like, you know what? Boog.
Yeah.
Boog is happening. It's not far off. We're doing this shit. And it won't be a concern anymore.
Yeah, like I wasn't even gonna I should have brought that article up, but I didn't. But like New York, there was an article in New York about them arresting a group of girls that were hanging out on the street corner. There's like 3 girls, like they had met up to go somewhere, and the police rolled up, and they're like, "Oh, you're not social distancing," and they arrested the 3 girls. Put them in a gang-sized cell with like 20 other women overnight. Right. Yep. And then like every couple of hours, a deputy would walk through and give them a little bit of hand sanitizer. Right. This is the same police department that just released 11 people that were in there in sex crimes, including 3 of them that were in jail for child rape.
So released them so they wouldn't catch coronavirus.
They released a person that serial raped a 12-year-old boy. But they'll throw a person in jail for violating social distancing ordinance.
They'll violate social distancing to throw a person in jail for not social distancing.
But here's why. This is the hardcore, and this is what statists and people don't want to understand. Here's the hardcore why that happens. That happens because the people who are violating social distancing, the people who are doing that, are directly defying the state's direct orders.
Yeah.
The people who rape children, the people who murder other people, the people
they're defying the state's orders, but they're not doing it because it's defiant.
Right. They're not doing it in defiance. It's just, well, they're criminals.
It just happens to be against
right.
the
And the victims here, most importantly, the victims in child rape, the victims in sexual assault, the victims in robbery are not the state. The victims are citizens.
Right.
One is defending the state. The other is trying to defend people. And they care far, far, far less. Will always care far less about defending people than they care about defending the edicts of the state.
Defending their authority. Yep.
I shouldn't have even brought that up. I got so angry with our friend's daughter and what happened, and just
exactly. It's and look at how much the state cares about that, right?
Yep.
Look at how much they did everything they could consistently to avoid doing anything.
Yep.
Versus what they'll do about this. It's because one matters to the state, matters to their actual masters. Yes. They are fucking dogs. Let's just call them what they are. The law enforcement are dogs and nothing more. Yes, including your relatives, you fucking whiny ass bitch who's out there about to whine at me. Yes, including them and especially them. They are dogs. They're cold, unthinking, useless fucking dogs for their masters. And all they care about is defending their fucking masters. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. And they don't care about anybody else in the community.
Right.
That isn't what they're there for. They're there to obey their fucking masters. They're slaves. They're fucking dogs.
There's a reason they don't have protect and serve on the side of their vehicles anymore.
Yeah.
They gave
there's a reason. There's a reason they get to discriminate against high IQ applicants for those jobs.
And they are no longer peace officers. They are law enforcement.
Yeah, look at that. It's not even about peace anymore. They've gone from peace officers to Leos.
And there's a reason. There's a reason they went to the Supreme Court to determine once and for all that they have no legal obligation to protect
several times. Like
at least 4.
I think it's been it's like 8 times.
Yeah,
it's like 8 times over. So
repeatedly.
And there's a reason that they've been pushing for qualified immunity laws and having that legislated from the bench so they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Because it isn't about being
follow the law.
It isn't about being fucking Andy Griffith. All right, that isn't what they're trying to be. What they're trying to be is Don Knotts in an SS uniform.
Yeah,
that's what they want to be, because unlike you and I, who looks at the Gestapo and looks at the fucking Einstats and goes, holy shit, these people were fucking monsters. They look at them and go, oh, but look at all the power they got.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
And that's all they fucking see.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. This is okay.
Yeah, my phone is dying. I've only got a couple minutes left.
U.S. stops issuing passports except for life or death emergencies. So you couldn't leave if you wanted to. So the U.S. State Department has stopped issuing passports due to the COVID-19 pandemic, with exceptions for people who have a quote qualified life or death emergency. Being subjected to the police state is not a qualified emergency. In a statement published March 27th, the State Department advised Americans to avoid all international travel due to the spread of COVID-19 unless someone is experiencing an emergency and needs to travel within 72 hours. So, yeah, welcome to the plantation. You can't leave.
And I needed to renew Declan's passport this spring. So we can go to Jamaica this fall. Yeah.
Yeah. That's unless
papers,
so
please.
Literally what they have yeah, it's German for papers,
yeah,
please.
Papers, please.
If you do not have an emergency in the next 3 days, they're not going to give you a passport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not even if you wanted to get one now and take the 60 days or whatever it takes. Like, okay, like August, September, this stuff will all be over and I can travel again. No, you got to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I've seen a few people post this and say, well, it's misleading because it's a misleading headline because they say they will still. No, if you read further down in that article, it says they won't expedite them. And even non-expedited ones are likely to be delayed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how long does it take to get an American passport? What, like
3 to
months?
6 months. 3 to 6 months. Yeah.
No. All right. How about some good news? All right.
Yeah,
Americans are driving less because of coronavirus. That's hurting red light camera revenue.
Let me play the world's smallest violin.
Yes. As Americans stay home to help slow the spread of coronavirus, they're driving fewer miles. That's great news for everyone. Air pollution is falling, crashes are down, and there's no blood pressure inducing congestion. Well, almost everyone, except for the few companies that operate drivers' most hated devices, red light cameras. It's causing a headache. Redflex, an Australian company that operates, quote, traffic safety programs in roughly 100 U.S. and Canadian cities, warned that less traffic and suspended construction amid the pandemic will be a stress on its balance sheets.
Oh.
Quote, approximately 15% of group revenue is dependent on volume-based contracts.
Nobody fucking feels sorry for you. Literally nobody fucking feels sorry for you.
Do we have to go into like the whole unconstitutional aspect of red light cameras?
No, I think we've covered that before.
Because you can't face your accuser.
Yeah, but so.
Oh, boo-hoo. Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin. That is silly.
Mr. Krabs gets me.
Mr. Krabs.
So, we anticipate our revenue from these contracts will be impacted broadly in line with the reduction in traffic volumes and as well as the duration of this disruption.
Good. Maybe you'll go out of business.
Shares of Redflix, which trade in Australia, are down 46% since the beginning of the year.
Oh no!
On call with investors Monday, Redflix CEO Mark Talbot warned that further travel restrictions could delay new installations and therefore impact revenues.
Boo fucking who.
Yeah. Quote, so far, there have been no terminations to contracts. We are, of course, undertaking cost incentives where possible to mitigate the impact of reduction of risk or delay. In addition, the board and executive team will be taking a reduction in compensation effective April 1st for the duration of this disruption.
All of the rich, tyrannical, insane motherfuckers are going to have to get paid less. God damn.
Oh, damn.
Well, when you build your whole business on fleecing people at the point of a fucking gun, I don't feel bad for you if you go out of business because your prey is staying indoors.
Yeah, exactly. Well, boy, that sucks for you. That you
literally
don't make
nobody
money
fucking
anymore.
cares.
It's,
You know what?
And it's
just die.
And it's
just
only
die.
and it's only a matter of time until these articles start popping up about local police jurisdictions not having ticket and civil asset forfeiture, and they start complaining. And I'm gonna throw a fucking party.
Oh yeah. It's just going to be a short amount of time, and you're going to see all these local police. Well, you know, our revenues are down because we haven't been, you know, we're scared of interacting with people to write them speeding tickets.
We've had to lay people off. Our force is reduced. That sounds fucking great to me.
Fucking awesome. If you could go ahead and fire literally everybody.
Yeah.
That would be great.
There's what we need. Fire everybody. Vote Derek and Klaus for police commissioner.
Like I feel like the two Bobs.
Dude, we've known each other for how many years, and you still mispronounce my last name?
I'll say it however the fuck I want. I'm an anarchist.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
It sounds cooler. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just call her DK and just go with that.
Yeah.
Just call her D or sister.
Yep, that works too.
Either way.
Yeah.
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 I don't have anything else.
Can you imagine the tragedy that is going to befall of these police departments that they're going to talk about once the boog starts? Like once that is really happening, the amount of whiny bitch fest they're going to have.
Yeah.
It's going to be masturbatory in its gloriousness.
Hey, that's good for your health.
Stop. My penis can only get so erect.
Yeah, exactly. You want to see a war on cops, motherfucker? I will show you a war on cops.
Oh.
On federal.
That's all just hypothetical, though.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that I will be involved. What I'm saying is that if that were to happen, here is what would occur, and I would find it humorous. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I would participate at all in any way for legal reasons.
I'm just going to laugh. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
So, I don't have anything
but
else.
I don't know. Seattle's already locking people up for thought crimes, so maybe laughing will get me thrown in jail. Who knows?
I hope they show up to try and arrest me in jail. I didn't want to live that long anyway. World's getting boring. Bring it.
Send bachelors, come heavily armed.
Yep, exactly. Make my life spicy, motherfuckers. I'm getting bored.
Yeah. All right, I gotta go. It's 11.
Yep.
So.
Oh. All right. On that note, this has been episode 88. Go.
What are we calling this one again?
Tentatively named. I had medical masturbation. That's right. What I have written down.
But then we thought maybe doink doink duty.
I think your doink doink duty is probably a good one.
And then wank for the cure.
There you go.
Yeah, wank for the cure.
Wank for the cure.
Yeah.
All right, wank for the cure it is.
Yeah, and be sure to check out Inked Anarchist's Hootenanny Roundup. In addition to
link is in the description.
Buy my book.
A link is also in the description.
Yep.
And I don't have anything special, so.
Yeah, if ever there was a time for you to start fucking thinking for yourself, now's the fucking time.
Yeah.
Buy
Amazon.
You know what?
Amazon still delivers, guys.
Yeah, and you guys have all of your kids at home right now because schools are all closed. So you know what? This is the perfect time to use Derica's book to instruct them.
I wrote it as a homeschooling curriculum. It's appropriate for kids.
Yep.
So
perfect.
Yep.
You can actually read to them, and it's not big enough to hurt them with. So.
Right.
Yeah. All right. This has been episode 88.
Peace.
Go jerk off for your health.
Yep.
Peace.
Wait for the cure. Peace.